Today, we'll be reviewing a show called Inside OnlyFans. This was a suggestion from Michael Gavin Ali. We have both listened and watched this separately. We have not discussed it with each other beforehand. This is a show hosted by Kayla Lauren and CJ Sparks. And I have to tell you, I watched it on YouTube. Mike, I know you can't see real well. I don't know if you could see this at all. I can't imagine just listening to this show.
You know, it's very funny because you sent me, I started looking for clips before I heard your latest podcast.
Yeah.
And you were talking to Chris when you did the teaser last week, and you made a joke that I wouldn't be able to see these girls. And that's when it finally dawned on me, oh, that's the appeal of this podcast. Because I was looking at their clips like, I don't get this.
That is the appeal of this podcast. So let's get right into it. Mike, you pulled a bunch of clips from a recent episode of Inside OnlyFans. Where should we start here, buddy?
Well, how about we start with the intro, just because I couldn't figure out if this woman is the host of the podcast. It's very weird. Just play clip number 1.
I'm Kayla.
All right. Kayla Lauren or just Lauren?
Just Lauren.
Kayla
I wish I could be more exciting, but it's Lauren.
I thought a spider was on me. It's just my hair. Okay. I'm CJ Sparks. Sorry.
Looking very butterfly.
I know. Do you like my butterfly shoes? And then also too, okay, so I really like the shoes, but the dress is like, it's just a lot of juice happening here.
Yeah, it's a high. It's
covered,
high cut.
Covered on the top, but I have hoarded up.
Sure have, buddy.
A, these two have the chemistry of me and Chris trying to fill time before the show. But B, did you catch the thing at the beginning where they don't know how to pronounce each other's names? It was very weird. Is she the host every week?
Yeah, these two host the show every single week, and then they bring on different guests. And these two women have their own OnlyFans, and then they bring on other women who also have OnlyFans. And then the episode that you watched, did you see the Pod Daddy come on at all?
Oh, the Pod Daddy was a big part at the end.
Good.
I enjoyed the Pod Daddy.
Yeah, the Pod Daddy comes on, and I guess he's on there to actually have a conversation because no one else on the show can. So let's bring in one guy who actually knows how to ask questions and respond and react to them. And it's great.
I couldn't tell if the Pod Daddy was a gay man or just a real creep. It was hard to decipher.
Why can't it be both?
Maybe.
So the episode that I checked out, they come on and they say, we just went to this huge dinner. We're super late. We had no idea it was going to be a 5-course meal. And there were appetizers for every course and palate cleansers. And it was a whole thing. And I can tell they're wasted. They have been overserved at this restaurant. And so this is an example of my friend Kayla. And this show is edited quite a bit. It's actually very well produced, even though there's only like 3,000 subscribers on YouTube and these videos don't have a ton of views. I think OnlyFans must pay for this to promote OnlyFans, which would make nothing but sense, obviously, because everything about this is polished and professional, except for, of course, the hosts.
Right.
And this is Kayla just interrupts, and I say interrupts, it's hard to tell because it is edited, the guest to tell a story that's neither here nor there.
Oh my God! Did I ever tell you of the person who fingered me that had the really tiny fingers?
What? No.
I just had a flashback. I think I repressed this memory. Oh my God!
Oh, it was a smaller than average finger.
They were so small.
Tiny hands.
He was. I can't even say what he was saying. It was so. They were so small where you could barely feel. Barely feel
fingers?
them. Yes, short.
Whoa!
Literally, I think all his fingers were like shorter, as short as my pinky finger, but like all of them.
Jeez.
And he like really thought he had something going on, and I was like, I can't feel any, like, what's happening? And he's like, fuck my fingers. And I was like, I can't.
What about his toes? Did you check on those?
I didn't see the toes. I would have probably had a better time.
He was saying, fuck my fingers.
Yes.
That was his thing.
He said that. He at one point spit on my stomach, but then licked it off.
Whoa! What?
That pretty much sums up the show. If you're wondering what we're talking about today, that's pretty much the conversation that we're having.
I'm glad I heard that, because in the episode I listened to, they had a woman named Carmen on.
Yeah.
And she really carried the show. So I was like, I didn't understand what the role of the two hosts were because they barely spoke. So I'm glad they're at least alive.
Yeah, okay, good, because did Kayla and CJ seem wasted in the episode that you watched?
I would say more high than anything, just because they seemed a little out of it.
Yeah, because Kayla seems like she's been drinking a little bit. So this is their guest. They bring on Davina D. Okay. And what she's been doing is she's been traveling by herself. She doesn't have a boyfriend right now. So she's out traveling, and they're like, well, are you still filming? She was down in Peru and stuff. Well, are you still doing OnlyFans stuff? She said, oh, yeah, I'm still doing that.
Mainly, the problem is when I try to shoot stuff, I'm always like, I feel like I'm always wasted. And then it never comes out good.
Oh, my God.
So I'll see it, and it's just like, some of it I'm like, oh, God. But then some of it's entertaining.
Okay.
It is entertaining.
She's like, if my OnlyFans is anything, it's entertaining.
You're going to be
Maybe not in the way you thought, but it is entertaining.
Okay.
It should be called Only Drunk Chicks, is what the show should be called. Inside Only Drunk Chicks all the time. Because she talks about this time she was in Peru and she got stranded and she couldn't speak Spanish, so she didn't know how to get anywhere or communicate with anyone. And so for some reason, there's a little bit of a lull in the conversation.
Okay.
And CJ Sparks is trying to ask her about that experience in Peru, but she's too wasted to get the question out. So Kayla just jumps in with her own question.
What do you think they were talking about when they were? What were you?
Are you
using?
penetrating yourself on OnlyFans?
I mean, I'm not going to answer that.
Oh,
Should I answer that?
That means yes.
Of course I am.
We literally had to, if you knew the things that are said on the show.
Yeah.
CJ
OnlyFans girls have such a weird line where sometimes they're like, why would I talk about that? It's like, I don't know, because you're shoving things in your pussy for money.
Yeah, and you're trying to
Seems
promote
like it would be
yourself.
Good advertising, yeah.
Yeah, you might want to tell us what we might see if we were to pay $10 a month. It's probably be a good idea. And it's funny because I'll get into it later. This guest starts off not really talking about herself very much, not really telling you very much, and then she opens up and it gets fucking nuts. But
Okay.
I want to give you the floor again, my friend, and tell me what you saw.
Well, if you want to hear a little more of the interviewing prowess of Kayla Lauren, I would play clip number 6. This is a follow-up question. This is a woman, like, telling kind of a sad life story. She's putting a positive spin on it, but, like, she didn't come from great upbringing. And then Kayla asks a perfect follow-up.
So how did you get into, did you finish high school or?
Barely.
Yeah.
Same. I think I had to take like one summer school course, and I was like, okay, they were like, you can go now, man.
To be honest, my computer teacher hated me so much. She told me she messed with my grade a little bit she literally said, so you can get out of here.
Wow.
Like, she wanted me out. Yeah, no, but I was like in like the dumb math class, the dumb science class. Like, I was so focused in partying, but also I had an eating disorder too. Like, my brain was just on other stuff. Like,
I like that she majored in partying, but minored in eating disorder. Both good qualities to have for an OnlyFans girl.
addiction. My past is all addiction.
Were you like self-conscious, and then that's why you drank? Like, did you have like a
I would
a
say
loud
so,
mind?
Kayla.
I
And that's
think
why you drank?
I wanted to escape, like just like the control or escaping or something. Like, I was like just a very like sad child. I think.
All right, so that was CJ. That was the eyebrows girl. And
That's the other girl.
yeah, and so she asks her, were you self-conscious about what? Being dumb? Was that what the question was?
That's
Did you
what I
feel
thought it
bad that
was.
you were so stupid?
Hey, you're a drunk who's showing her pussy for money. Do you have any demons?
Do you have any childhood issues by any chance? Because sometimes we get girls out here who had problems in their childhood.
But the last comment I have, very Carmen-centric that I have. So the last kind of commentary on the host really would be both clip number 4 and then clip number 8. Because number 4, you get a little insight into the show prep that they do.
Okay.
Low based on Carmen's reaction.
Very excited to have you today because I love that you are also sober.
Yes, sober queen.
And a few years back, I read your book.
You lie.
Yeah, I read the whole thing. Yes, I got on Audible. So I listened to the whole thing. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Makes more sense.
And I
Yeah.
have to say, I was like, this girl is wild.
Yeah.
What is the book
Crazy
about?
bitch.
Yeah, I love it though.
Like the co-host is like, you could have told me there was a fucking book. I didn't realize you had to prep for this interview, you asshole. Make me look like a dummy.
Well,
There's a lot there where A, you're lying about book, you listen to it. Then I'm not against that, believe me. That's what I do.
It's nothing wrong with that.
But I love the stunned disbelief. Like, you read my book?
I didn't know you could read.
I would probably have that reaction too after it's later when clip number 8 happened.
We had one of the interns here like take some notes on you, and I have to say they were intense. Not I mean, it's everything you put in your book, probably. I hope. And like, I don't know how far she went when she was digging, but
So the intern read the book. She didn't.
Exactly. She summarized it for me. She actually wrote things down, but I didn't read that either. But she told me about it. I liked when they were talking about the fact that they have a guest on the show. They have no enthusiasm whatsoever. If I was a guest on this show, I'd be like, all right, well, never mind then.
We have a special guest.
an extra special guest.
Like, yeah, I guess they're going to shove this fucking guest down our throats.
Why'd you wake me up to tell me that?
Yeah, at least you guys sigh when I come into the room off air. On air, you pretend you're happy I'm here. But
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm putting out an act.
this fuck's here again.
Yay, Blind Mike is on the show, everyone.
Fuck yeah.
Cool. All right. So we can't go through an episode of WATP without talking about shitting during sex anymore. That's just become a running theme.
Their slogan.
That's pretty much the slogan now. So the question is, what's the best color of sheets for your bed? It's a fine question, I would say. If I had an OnlyFans girl out here, that might be a question I would ask.
Before or after?
This is a question. What's the best color of sheets?
To have sex on?
Yes.
I think white. I'd still go with white.
I would too.
Okay.
It's just risky if anything weird happens.
Like a Harry Jalsey situation?
I was just thinking.
Okay.
We had a little bum squirt discussion with Harry. That's why he doesn't like anal, because you never know when there's going to be a bum squirt.
A bum squirt, yeah. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to run
Are
to
you
the
an
kitchen
anal?
sink.
Are you an anal fan?
Yeah. Am I the only one?
I mean, I don't. There's
Please,
only been
Davina,
one guy.
back me
One guy
up.
that I've done it with. That's it.
One guy.
Okay, like 3, but like one that I actually.
Wait, what? 3?
One that had an actual dick, like not a little tiny fucking pencil dick, like a big dick.
Where you could feel the...
Yeah.
Sounds like she dabbles.
I'd hate to be the other 2 guys that fucked her in the ass.
I know. Yeah.
God damn, you're watching this, you're like, oh, I don't even count? Jesus Christ. Do I have to take it off my list now, too? Because how does this work?
There's the one guy with a dick. That's great.
I just love the like, I can't tell you guys how many times I've asked a lady to come back to my apartment and she says, "What color are your sheets?" That's the ends. Color are your sheets.
I'm a little bit of a bum squirter, so I just want to check. I hope it's not white.
You have brown sheets, I'm in. Other than that, I don't think I can do it.
So that leads to a conversation about one of the guys on her OnlyFans had an interesting request for her.
I mean, I had one guy, it was just the strangest thing. He like asked if I would find a guy to shit in my mouth.
Oh.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'll give you 10 grand. I was like, still no, but I'm going to make this work. So I had him pay me half. And I had my friend, and then he was like, the guy that I got to do it, he was like, I can't be seen doing this.
Right.
And
God bless
so
that
we got
man.
him a mask.
Team
He's like,
player.
he goes, I need a mask. I'm like, okay. He doesn't tell me he wants a mask until he shows up to the house. So the only mask that I had available was a Trump mask.
Of course. Makes sense.
And so he is like, we're trying to figure out, okay, what can we make that's going to look like shit?
Wait a second. You're telling me I signed up for this woman's OnlyFans, and my only request is, can you have a guy shit in your mouth? And she won't even do it? What a
Snob.
prude. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Why am I
stuck-up
on
bitch.
OnlyFans then? What am I doing? Watch scat porn.
It is funny where they draw the line. So, like, for example, play clip 15 is where we start to learn. The heavy chunk of my episode was about like a pregnancy fetish. I guess there's a lot of guys that like to jerk off to pregnancy porn. And luckily, this woman, Carmen, would oblige at times and get into some other nonsense.
Did I see a video though of you talking about? I feel like you were on a podcast with Harry.
Yeah,
and you were talking about like milk.
Prince Harry?
Yes, that's exactly.
I sent them my milk.
Oh my!
I squirted my breast milk in both the host's mouths. They drank from me.
Wait, what? When?
Was it recent?
Who cares about when?
That was at 10:15.
Yeah, I know, right? When is her
3
question?
weeks ago, you matured.
Wait, what? When?
Was it recent? I was looking
like
through your
last month.
stories or something.
Wait a minute. Okay, wow. I just almost said something that I won't say.
No, that's correct. Don't go there. That's so.
Fran Drescher just showed up.
What just happened?
Jesus
What's going on, Mike?
So basically, she will squirt breast milk all over the place, which we'll get into more in a minute. But it's funny that like you're willing to do that on a podcast. And clip number 18 seems to like offend her to the point that she's blocking people, which it's an interesting line to draw, I feel like.
What was the like maybe most bizarre pregnant request that you had?
Oh my god!
Where you're like,
this is something I was like, hell no. The weirdest, creepiest thing a guy did is when he saw I was pregnant, he knew I would have a nursery. He wanted me to take pictures like laying in a diaper in my daughter's nursery, like with my legs up, pretending like posing like a baby.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
I'm
I've
like,
heard of that.
Block?
Yeah, that's a little much, I think, because it's like, especially asking for it in her nursery.
And
I love that you're the guy asking for this, and she's like, "I'm sorry, sir, you're a pervert." Like, well, yeah, I know. I'm on your OnlyFans. What do you mean?
I'm glad you noticed that, because it is. I wouldn't do it either. Let's be fair. I that's where I would draw the line too. But it's very funny to be like, "Hey guys, I'm squirting my breast milk. I'm flicking my whatever you fellas want." Whoa, I'm a lady. Let's not get ridiculous.
Are they shaming these people now? Like, what's going? All right, so this is a fun little clip because CJ Sparks is an idiot. She's like the dumbest person. And what I like about the dynamic of this show, and yes, I just said what I like about, is that Kayla just gives her shit all the time for being stupid. Like that tease that we played last time where she was trying to say disparage said disparity. This is another example of that.
Have you ever obviously that's incredibly like crazy. Is there anything else where you've had where you're like, whoa, that was like a different one or an interesting one?
I mean, I've had like not so much requests, but I've had some like crazy like waterboarding videos and just like some really like taboo stuff.
That's fun.
Like torture.
But you can't.
Fun.
But you can't.
Do you know what waterboarding
send
is?
it.
Well,
On
I mean,
CJ, do you know what waterboarding is?
It's where they put the water. You feel like you're drowning.
Yeah. How do you go? That's fun. That's fun.
So I would actually watch a show where Kayla just calls CJ an idiot for an hour at a time. And I have to tell you guys, I hope that my wife isn't listening to this episode, even though she listens to most of them. I'm in love with Kayla Lauren. This is a perfect woman to me. She seems wasted and out of it. She's laughing at everything. She's goofing at her co-host.
Tell Jenny Jingles to step it up a little, you know?
Yeah, get a sleeve, Jenny Jingles. What are you doing?
I do respect a woman that's like, oh, no, I know what waterboarding is. I'm just into it.
Yeah, she's like, no, it sounds like fun. I don't know what to tell you.
Let's all go waterboarding.
Yeah. That old Beach Boys song. Yeah. Everybody's going waterboarding in the CIA.
Well, if you want to stay on the kind of the dumb theme, clip number 5. Are you guys familiar with AA?
I am, yeah. It's where alcoholics go, don't want to be known about.
Okay, interesting. I hear it's kind of more of an exclusive club.
Oh, okay.
Tell me how you did overcome everything. Where'd you start at?
Honestly, I'm so jealous. Like, I didn't know what AA... Like, I didn't know AA was free. Did you... Did I my book?
Oh, my God. I am the same.
Yes. I got sober completely on my own. I didn't have money for rehab at that time. I was not saving in my addiction, of course.
Who's saving? Yeah.
So I'm dead broke, and I want to get sober. And for some reason, I thought AA was like something you had to get either invited to or you do it like after rehab. I had no idea I could just walk into AA.
Right.
I mean, who doesn't know that?
I would say that I lost respect for her, but...
Invite only, like you bang on the back door. Johnny Walker invited me. Ooh, come right in.
It's a 2-drink minimum.
All right. Well, I want to talk a little bit more about, I teased this already, that Davina D is a crazy person. And I'm excited to say that I have a shot with her. And I don't say that kind of thing very often.
What do you look for in a guy?
Honestly, I'm really not into looks, which people find very strange. Like, all of my exes have not been the best looking guys.
Yes! I'm ready to join the list.
Boys, I think we all got a shot here.
The whole WATP crew over here for this woman.
Okay.
All right, let's find out what she's into. Because, like I said, she doesn't talk a lot about what the content is on her OnlyFans. Not that these women are good at interviewing her, so it's not like they're asking. So then this guy, Max Amini, shows up, the pod daddy. And he's a comedian. He's been on shows and stuff, and he does stand up. And he comes on, and he's going to get to the bottom of what's actually going on.
Most of the stuff, honestly, that I shoot is just so bad that it has to be sold like through my Snapchat from OnlyFans, because guys will request things, and I'm like, if I send that, like, I will be removed.
Whoa.
Oh, so it's like really explicit?
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff like
Even for OnlyFans?
even for OnlyFans.
What?
So
is
what
going
would be
on?
too explicit?
Yeah.
Don't talk in codes, girl.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. You're like, I'm an open book, but this book ain't cracking, man.
Yeah.
All right, so there was this one gangbang. Then this just happened like randomly. A whole bunch of friends of mine and their coworkers or whatever in Hollywood, and there was just like a lot of knife play and like trash bags and lots of duct tape.
Okay.
And so you can't post that stuff. Like, that's.
That's torture.
So is it okay? So then do
I
you
mean,
have
it was
like a
pleasurable for me.
Yeah.
This woman is fucking crazy, okay? She goes on to say, it was probably a bad idea because the guy holding the knife to my throat was wasted at the time. So that was probably dangerous. She talks about how, and I don't even think this is for OnlyFans, it's just her lifestyle. She goes, yeah, I was fucking these 8 dudes. I just kept calling people to come over, and it was like 3 days straight. It was, it was a long weekend of just fucking 8 guys. And they're like, wait, how is that even possible that you guys could fuck for 3 days straight? She's like, well, a guy would get tired and take a nap, and then he'd come back in, and someone else would go out, and I was just like,
Sure.
and she's saying this just straight up, not like, I know it's crazy. She's like, yeah, that's kind of how I roll. She lives in New Orleans, and she got fired from her job at a strip club because she was fucking all the employees. And the owner caught her at his house fucking the DJ, and he's like, all right, I can't have you working for me anymore. What are you doing? This is too much. This woman's
You gotta
fucking
give them this.
crazy.
They're a fun group.
They're a fucking fun group. Unless you're the ex-husband. You don't want to be the ex-husband of this woman.
Right.
This is the one that allegedly says that I stabbed him.
Oh.
I know, another OnlyFans stabbing story.
What, you didn't stab him?
But you
I did not stab him, no.
he just stepped on like he fell.
He just fell.
He fell.
He just walked into the knife, I guess. I mean,
Hey.
Was this before or after he came?
Jesus fucking Christ. This woman's incredible. I mean,
His lawyer is clutching his chest. No, please, not into a microphone.
what are you doing right now? Fell into a knife. Just fucking ruined our whole case. You idiots. So, yeah, this is, and by the way, before they figured out, because she was talking about ex-boyfriends and stuff, and she can't be with one guy anymore. She finds that boring. So the only time she has sex is if there's 2 or 3 guys there, and sometimes up to 8 or whatever.
We've all been there.
Yeah, no, I know, I get it. So,
And is that where your ex-boyfriend lives?
that's where my ex-husband lived.
Whoa, ex-husband.
I know.
What happened to the ex-husband?
The ex-husband left me for a 17-year-old.
Oh, dear.
Okay. I
God.
know.
Yikes. Oh, my God.
What in the
Yeah.
frick?
Oh,
I know.
Call the police.
yeah.
I did.
Anonymous.
Oh, geez.
I did.
I totally did.
all right. I don't know about Davina D. She's fucking crazy, but this show is entertaining. I hate to say it. I'm watching this going, this is actually really
I
fucking funny.
feel like ordering them a round of drinks.
I know. They're fucking hilarious. They're just laughing at the most absurd shit possible.
I do have to apologize to your listeners, by the way. Nana Geary came out there when she said 17. I went, oh, God. The audacity.
You should call the cops on him. I did. Oh, okay. They're all just having so much fun with it.
8 cops came over and fucked me.
And then I pretended there was a fire, and the fire truck showed up.
For some reason, an astronaut was there.
Should see my ladder trick.
Well, I do think relationship troubles are a common theme with these ladies. If you want to play clip 9, it really shows the backbone that her husband has.
Best case scenario.
Was that like a one-off situation while he was deployed, or did that like?
He's like, we say we're in an open marriage, but really he doesn't want to be with anyone else. So it's kind of I'm open. Yeah, he's just like, why would I want to unless it's someone like of your caliber or higher? Like, I'm not just gonna fuck someone to fuck someone.
Unless you brought somebody home. That's what I'm hearing. Okay.
Yeah, and like.
So he's lazy, too.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's so sweet. You don't want to fuck anyone else? All right, I'll be back in a few hours.
Don't wait up.
OnlyFans chicks are fucking wild.
Yeah.
They're nuts. It's funny, too, because I didn't clip this, but at a certain point, the pod daddy asks this girl, Davina D, he's like, well, you're into gangbangs, you're into all this crazy shit. Like, why aren't you just a porn star? And she goes, well, that shit doesn't pay enough money. What are you, crazy? I would never do that. Like, she just missed it. Like, look, if some girls want to be porn stars, I guess, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not the 80s anymore, pal.
I don't get into bed for that kind of money. Oh, God.
Well, I have a good pod daddy clip. Number 20, you get a feel for his... I guess I get where he's trying to go. It's just his use of language I find interesting. I don't know if I would have used this word to describe these ladies.
Listen, if they did a documentary on porn stars, you would come out, or a contest or whatever sort of thing, you would come out the number one wildest.
Yes.
I'm pretty
most
crazy.
open, most likable. You make all of this crazy fucking experience so adorable.
Yeah, you really do.
I sucked 15 guys up, and the way you fucking deliver
with
this
the
shit,
dick
it's
in
like,
my back.
it's like, oh my god, she's adorable.
He has a way with ladies. Also, he's wearing the same outfit in the episode that I watched.
Oh,
They're
no.
not paying him enough? What's going on?
The pod daddy's doing 2-days.
Yeah, right. Maybe that's what it is.
If you guys want to hear clip number 12, I know I alluded to the fact, obviously, that she was pregnant, but
Yeah.
you can tell clip number 12, it was a tough kind of moral dilemma for her to decide if she should get into this business.
Sure.
Industry.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned that you had a baby during this time as well.
Yes.
Okay, so what is this? You're back, you've had a baby, your husband's deployed. What is the mindset like for you? You're like, I'm back, guys, or
Yeah, so I was really trying, like I was in my head about like, can I do this being a mom? Like,
Right.
I really wanted to be like the picture perfect mom. Like, I don't want to give my kids trauma, and I was like so scared about like going back. But then I kind of like all that time when he was gone, I was alone a lot. So I got to think, I'm like, if she's gonna get made fun of, she already is. Like, I already did the porn. I'm already all over the internet. But at that point, I was broke. Like, I had nothing to even show for it. So I'm like, let me just like milk this shit as much as I can, because I'm already out there. Like, if she's gonna get made fun of, which is what I was worried about if I came back, like that ship has already sailed. Like,
Right.
I already did that, and I'm so glad I did, because now I just like killed the last couple of years, and I have her and my second daughter. I had another baby too.
Okay.
I have both of their like colleges all saved for, their private school already all saved for, so they're already set.
Honey, before you criticize me about what the boys were making fun of you for at school, look at that amount of money I made on OnlyFans.
Right. I do love that thought process. I want to raise my children in a respectable way, and I want to be a good role model for them. But I already fucked up, so
I
what are
already
you gonna
did
do?
porn. What's a little more?
Yeah, I was gonna stop doing coke after my kids were born, but I'm like, well, I mean, I've already been doing coke for so long. We'll just keep doing coke.
Already got the
I wa-
deviated septum.
Yeah, who cares? Hey,
I
is that a
wonder if
reference
my
to me,
daughter is
motherfucker?
going to have trauma if I'm squirting my breast milk into the mouth of a podcast host.
Yeah, it could be a problem. I don't know. So I thought this was interesting because the one I was listening to, they start talking about, and with this Davina woman, she talks about how size matters. She's like, I need to be with like a pretty big guy for it to even work for me. And that leads directly into an ad read, which is the only seamless thing that happens on this show for some reason.
We want to talk about plastic surgery for men, and it's called Pneuma. And you are going to be able to add 1 to 2 inches of length and girth. And it is the first FDA cleared, first of its kind, surgical enhancement for men, and it's like brought to you by like some NASA technology. So you're gonna have a penis from the moon. It's gonna be skyrocketed.
Why is NASA developing this technology? Is my first question. Why is everything from NASA? It's like we got this NASA technology that makes your dick bigger.
Well, I mean, when's the last time we sent someone to the moon? They're getting bored over there.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I can only imagine the boss being like, Henderson, what have you been working on this month? We haven't made any progress on this rocket at all. I know.
Wait till you see this rocket.
At least they were able to sell it to a company or something. Otherwise, it'd be like, oh, we're wasting our time here. We're getting funding for what? Well, wait, you said possibly 2 inches? Okay. I think Congress will be okay with that. We could probably get another round of funding.
I'm listening.
Yeah. I like that they have a promo code for $1,500 off. Holy shit. What is this thing going to cost?
It's a heck of a deal.
It's a heck of a deal. You'd be crazy not to add 2 inches to your penis.
I'm losing money.
Oh, fucking nuts.
If you want to play, I mean, if you think that's nuts, these ladies get pretty wild when you hear number 19. This is like her dream scene, I get, like what she most hopes can happen on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Do you have like a dream collab that you haven't had that you want to have?
I guess it's not a dream collab, but it's a dream scene.
Oh, a dream scene.
I want a train ran on me so bad. Like, I'm not talking like 5 guys. Like, I want like 20.
What? Wait, I thought I read that you did something like gangbangy. A blow bang?
Yeah, I had
with
15 guys.
The comes on the face, yeah?
Yeah, but they didn't have sex with me because it was like for a company. So it was I think it was 14 or 15 guys that I sucked off all at once.
Wait, like you went down a row or like what?
No, they were like, I'm like in the middle of a circle and everyone's throwing dick at my face.
Oh,
oh my God.
I'm like trying
thank
to
you,
get
sir.
everywhere.
May I have another?
No, they were
So yes. What a dream, like counting sheep.
I personally think that if you want to have a train run on you by 20 guys, don't talk about it. It's like a lawsuit. Don't talk about it. Just do it. Yeah. Like, I don't want to hear you saying, oh, yeah, one day I'll fuck 20 guys at once. Like, no. Listen, honey, I'm not believing you at all until you do it. Prove you can do that.
The amount of women I'd heard blathering on and on about I want 20 cocks in my face. Ladies, just do it.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like, I don't even believe you anymore. You've been saying this for years. It's just not happening. I have one more clip that I want to play, and then I'll let you play us out. And this is interesting because they're asking about her family. So Davina D, believe it or not, has like a mom and a brother and, you know, people who might find what she does, her line of work, not all that respectable.
Sure.
And so they ask her, like, well, are they cool with that or what's going on? She tells this story.
My mom actually just told me the other day that someone she works with was like, hey, I recognize your daughter from Instagram and I follow her OnlyFans. And I was like, what kind of fucking like,
from
and then
work?
she calls me and yelling at me and I'm like, what kind of psycho from work would like bring that up to someone?
Someone's mom.
Like, keep that to yourself.
Like,
100% agree. I don't know who this psychopath is at work that has to be like, by the way, your daughter, yeah, she's taken 13 dicks in her ass on OnlyFans. Like, well, why are you subscribed to that, A? And B, telling me, Adam Carolla used to talk about this all the time, that he talks shit about his wife or his family or his parents or something on the radio. Those people don't listen to his show, but of course, someone would be like, hey, did you hear what your husband was saying about you? He's like,
right.
Why did you feel the need to tell her that? Like, who is that helping? Who are you helping by giving that information over?
She wanted to compliment her. Your daughter does magnificent work.
Yeah, I know. I'm a huge fan. Could you get me an autograph next time you visit her?
Well, if you want to hear about some solid parenting, I believe it's clip number 16, I think. We learn how Carmen disciplines her children, and she makes it fun.
You know what? When I tune into this podcast, I wanted to learn about like what's on OnlyFans and what do I get if I subscribe. But I also wanted to learn how to be a better parent. So I'm glad that they're including this content.
Win-win.
Perfect.
Yeah.
when was this? It was like a month ago. What?
you have milk in your boobs?
Yeah, you want some or what? Don't get jealous.
Those pasties are doubling as nipple cover.
You can squirt some booby milk in my mouth
from here.
Are you really? Carmen?
That shit goes. Yeah, my oldest daughter, like, if she's not listening, I'm like, do you want me to squirt you? She's like, no.
You have to do it.
I didn't know there's a trajectory.
You can't tell me you can hit
low.
me.
I'm running low enough.
It's like a water park. What's not fun about that?
Will this daughter be traumatized? I don't know. I don't have the information.
Listen, we can't afford a slip and slide. This is as good as it's going to get for us, okay?
She's just holding it like fucking, you fucking betters back up. We can go back into the Pod Daddy segment. He's back.
Great.
And he helps educate us on what exactly makes a porn star. And this is just a good lesson that the church its days are numbered, because this is the type of people it's creating. Clip number 21.
Okay.
To like explore everything.
So with your family, like, this was never talked about. Like, how was the family? Like, is your family conservative, religious? Are they super open?
They are very Catholic. So yeah, like, I went to church like 3 times a week, like, very religious. Like, my dad said everything was bad. Like, when I had that sleepover where me and these girls had sex, one of them went and told their mom, and they were like all scared about it, I guess. And so my dad sat me down. He's like, if you have sex, you'll get arrested and you'll go to jail. So then I thought, like, if you have sex, you'll get thrown in jail.
The cops will find you.
But then I'm like more intrigued by it. I'm like, what is this thing that I can't know what it is?
It's kind of how I feel about Sonny John's kids. Wait, what? What'll happen if I do that?
Everyone report Carl. He's talking about them again.
Yeah, dude, this is not a good advertisement for Catholicism at all.
No, it's not a good advertisement for porn, for religion, for anything. Just stay neutral. Stay somewhere in the middle is where you have to be.
Yeah. Listen, if you want to have a sleepover and fuck some of your friends, that's cool. But just make sure no one's telling their parents about it, please. That's my only rule here. We don't kiss and tell in this house.
Well, again, it's funny you bring up telling parents, because clip number 22 is where we find out I mean, she comes from a religious family, so the obvious question is, what does her dad think about all of this?
It's always weird, because there's always someone weird there.
But doesn't this say something really cool about your father, that he still has a relationship with you?
He does, yeah, and he loves me. Like, I know he doesn't want to talk, like, he just can't face certain things, but he still loves me. Like, and here or there, like, when I just got my car and wrapped it pink, he's like, you know what, I am really proud of you that when you put your mind to something, like, you make sure it happens. So, like, when he says he's proud of me for stuff like that, and he knows clearly in the back of his mind
she better get this fucking train then. Yeah. She better put her mind to it and make that happen.
And he says he's proud of me for stuff like that, and he knows clearly in the back of his mind how I'm getting the money to do these things. Like, it is nice knowing that he's still accepting it, because his mindset is like way back in the day. Like, there is no understanding, you know, of like, he's just very judgmental naturally.
It's not way back in the day. Even today, there are girls that are having major issues just wearing a certain outfit.
Yeah. What? Leave it to the Pod Daddy to put it all into perspective.
What are you talking about? There is no way back in the day.
It's a shame. Even today, some fathers would be ashamed of their daughters squirting breast milk at their grandchildren.
On the internet. Yeah. Go figure.
I guess I don't have too much left. I guess number 10 is where we hear a little more about the relationship between her and her husband. And I guess to set this up, the best way to kind of say it is, obviously the husband has to be pretty supportive to put up with to be tolerant of all of this. That's a lot to deal with,
I would imagine.
And this is kind of an example of how tolerant she is in the opposite direction.
I've ever seen.
How did you met him and you guys grew up together, or how did you meet him?
I met him I met him when I was going out with his friend. I met his friend at his apartment. We went out that night, but then I ended up fucking my husband instead. Well, I was trying to like shoo him away from me at first, to be honest. Like I
Your
was like,
husband?
go away. Yeah, my now husband.
Okay.
He was following me around the club. Like this is when I was still active in my addiction.
Is this
I'm
Michigan?
Like, go away. No. This is LA.
I was like,
met
the
him in
club,
LA.
and I'm like,
No, we were in LA, and he just like would not stop following me around. I left the club. He showed up where I was. Like he was determined. I don't know why. I was a mess. Like I was running around the club with no shoes on, like that kind of girl. Like not cute.
your classic meet cute story. How did mom meet dad? But I actually fucked up. I meant clip number 11. It shows how tolerant he is of all this.
I just want to see a sitcom where he's recounting the story for his kids. How I fucked your mother. Would be a lot of fun. Your mom was a drunken mess. She's spilling coke out of her purse. I'm following her around the club.
Well, and the funny thing is, he's like a military guy, and apparently straight-laced, like he doesn't want to fuck around on her or anything.
Right.
This is how she pays him back.
I like, though, too, earlier, that other clip you played, where they have an open relationship, but he doesn't want to fuck anyone else because they're not as hot as she is.
Right.
I mean, Producer Chris, what are we talking about here?
Please enlighten me.
7.5, maybe? I mean, you could do better, I would say.
I'm obsessed.
so he joined the military after you guys were already together?
Yes, yeah, he joined the military because like I feel like he maybe felt like it was probably his first time like the girls making more money than him.
Okay. Because you were doing your modeling or you were
I was doing porn.
Doing the porn. Okay.
Yeah.
And he was just like, fuck, I've got to like step it up.
Yeah, I feel like he felt like he had to like do more, and he was a club promoter when I met him. And then when I got sober, he quit that job because I was like, well, if you get to be in nightlife, I can be.
Yeah.
So he quit that job. He started working at gym, doing personal training. And then it just, wasn't bringing in a lot of money.
Right.
And I think he saw, I was like, well, I don't know where this is really going.
Right.
And then, but he joined the military, and he came home and told me I joined the military. I was like, well, you're single because I'm not being a military wife.
Right.
Like, hell no. Like, I just moved myself to LA. Like, I was just getting really successful in porn, and I didn't want to. So I actually broke up with him, and he was just wouldn't take no for an answer. And he just like finessed it. He's like, no, I promise. Like it'll only be like a stepping stone just to get which now he's out now, but he knew that if he went through the military to do like an IT job, he'd get paid.
How could you degrade yourself by joining the military? I won't put up with it.
Yeah, right. This guy
I love that. I love that in a relationship when the woman's just like, oh, okay, well then I won't date you. I won't have a conversation about it. You're just out. And the guy's like, okay, I'm sorry.
Also, I've never heard of someone who's just like, I gotta start making some more money. I'm going to join the military.
Yes,
That's not a great strategy, but all right, you say so.
I think that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah. All right, so I have to say it, Mike, because I was pulling these clips and I'm watching the show, and it doesn't happen very often. Drew Lane, every time I go on his show, he's like, is Carl going to like this podcast? And I liked this podcast. I'm advertising for this podcast, guys.
Really?
Check it out. Check out Inside OnlyFans. If just for Kayla Lauren being drunk and high and just being ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't say it's something I'd listen to, but it's certainly the most entertaining. Of any of the podcasts you've given me when I've been on here, it's probably the most entertaining, I would say.
Yeah. I was amused by it. Let's put it that way. I'm
There was
not
always
going to
something
subscribe. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not popping this like, oh, new Joe Rogan. Fuck that. I got a Inside OnlyFans. No, I'm not at that point with it. But
ladies, congratulations! You've beat Chris D'Elia and Brendan Schaub in my book
for sure. Yes.
Who are these podcasts? WAT.